Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for remaining with us. You're still watching Smart 24, and my name is Anthony, and we are doing financial markets. Now, like I already said, the financial market segment here at Smart 24 focuses mainly on the capital market, but as well as on the money market, where we look at unit trusts and collective investment schemes, and of course, investment in securities such as treasury bonds and bills. But when it comes to the stock market, we look at mainly the regional stock markets. That is the Nairobi Securities Exchange, the Dar es Salaam Exchange, but as well as the Ugandan Stock Exchange. So now, moving down to the Nairobi Stock Exchange, which is of course, the largest exchange in East Africa, but of course, recently has been facing various troubles. They are one, of course, of the people that are moving the market, even in other, East African countries, because most of the companies that are listed on the Nairobi Stock Exchange are also listed in quite several exchanges on the East African, platform when it comes to the stock trading. Now, a stock exchange or a securities exchange is an exchange in which the stockbrokers and traders can buy and sell securities. And of course, these securities could be stocks, they could be bonds, and they could be any financial instruments that are sold, such as derivatives. Now, the stock exchanges may also provide facilities for the issue and redemption of such securities and instruments, and of course, capital events, including the payment of incomes and dividends. Securities trading traded on the stock exchanges include stock issued by listed companies, the unit trusts, derivatives, pooled investment products, and bonds. And of course, the stock exchanges often function as sellers, consummating transactions outcry at a central location, such as the floor of the exchange, or by using an electronic trading platform. To be able to trade a security on a certain stock exchange, the security must be listed there on that particular exchange. And usually there's a central location, at least for record keeping, but trade is increasingly less linked to a physical place. And of course, a modern market seeks to use electronic means of trading, and that's where exactly we are moving in East Africa, where people are running away from a lot of paperwork. Now, trade on an exchange is restricted to brokers, which, of course, who are the members of the exchange that are given licenses by the regulatory bodies like the Capital Markets Authority. In recent years, various other trading avenues, such as electronic networks, such as the alternative trading system, dark pools, have taken much of the trading activity away from the traditional stock exchanges. And of course, the top 10 stock exchanges in Africa, that is the East African community, of course, having Nairobi Stock Exchange representing us there. There's the BRVM, there's the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, which is the #1 stock exchange, and of course, several others on the market, the Casablanca Stock Exchange, and so many others. Now, looking at the Nairobi Stock Exchange in particular, this is not only the largest in East Africa, but the oldest exchange, started in 1954. Now, it was, of course, started as an East African trading stock exchange where all East African stocks were traded. But of course, due to the dissolution of the East African community in 1977, most of the non-Kenyan companies were delisted on the exchange and nationalized as government companies in their home countries. That is Kenya, Tanzania, and of course, Kenya and Tanzania at the moment were the member states of the East African community. But later on in the 1990s, the stock markets, started rising again in these particular countries with the re-establishment, of course, of several companies and government's privatization programs, where government was, giving chance companies to go public instead of becoming government institutions for effectiveness and for efficiency. So around 1997, of course, the Uganda Stock Exchange came up, and around the same time, the Dar es Salaam Exchange came up, and then later on in 2011, the Rwanda Stock Exchange also joined the others. Now, remember, lately, of course, Burundi, which joined the East African community as well, is thinking of also starting their own exchange, though it has not yet been established, but is thinking of the same, as well as the Democratic Republic of Congo, which just joined as well the East African community. But still, amongst all these, the Nairobi Stock Exchange still takes the mantle of representing the stock markets in East Africa. Now, about a minute ago, we can see the points of the all-share index in Nairobi stock exchanges have gone almost record low since the year began. Not only since the year began, but since last year. This is one of the lowest record points that it has hit, given the fact that the Nairobi Stock Exchange has been doing quite well, despite the many problems we've faced, of course. Looking at this graph here, I think between 2020, November, until now, this is the lowest we've had when it comes to points measuring the all-share index for the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Just yesterday, we had about 15 gainers and 14 losers on the market, a kind of balance. But of course, the losses, for example, looking at the bottom loser at 8.7% and the top gainer at 10%, relatively almost a flat line there. And of course, looking at the biggest, the smallest loser at 2.06% and the smallest gainer at 1.67%. Kind of still the same trend. And of course, given 15 companies, here 14, and the like. The Nairobi Stock Exchange, like I said, has 4 markets. That's the main market segment, the alternative market segment, and of course, starting and listing on the exchange to get a little bit of income, a little bit of capital to use to grow and expand. Let's look at the market now. Among the losers on the market is Absa Bank, who lost by 0.2 Kenyan cents after trading a volume of 42,500 shares. And the price now currently stands at 10.4 Kenyan shillings. That is Absa Bank of Kenya. Then another loser was BK Group, losing by about 1.25 Kenyan cents after trading a volume of about 300 shares, and the current price is 29.5. Then down to Britam Holdings Limited at 6.1, of course gaining at 0.1 Kenyan shillings and trading about 8,200 shares just a day yesterday. And another loser was East African Cables Limited. East African Cables lost by about 0.02 Kenyan cents to a price of 0.95 cents. And of course, other companies, several companies there on the market that gained, including the CIC Insurance Group, the Cooperative Bank of Kenya, down to Centum Investment Company. And another loser on the market was Diamond Trust Bank of Kenya, losing at about 0.75 after trading 100 shares and now trading at 51 Kenyan cents. And East African Breweries lost at 0.75 and is now trading at 118. Remember, East African also lost here. So losing in your own country and losing also on the cross-listed exchange is quite something. So East African Breweries lost to 118 Kenyan shillings. And of course, the other loser was HF Group, and another gainer was I&M Holdings, gaining at about 0.1 Kenyan cents. And down to KCB Bank. KCB Bank was another loser at 0.4, and the Kengen PLC was about a gain at 0.03. and Kenya Reinsurance Corporation at 0.02, was another loser as well. Moving down to, of course, other gainers and losers on the market, we had Stanbic Holdings Limited losing to about 92.5 after losing 3.25 cents. Then Standard Chartered was a gainer. Safaricom was another gainer. By the way, Safaricom is the biggest company that's trading, the company with the biggest turnover and, of course, volumes are trading on the market in Nairobi. Total Kenya gained by about 0.05, and Umeme Limited. Umeme is a cross-listed company from Uganda. It lost by about 0.08 to 7.9 Kenyan shillings. Then Yunga Group gained by about 1.5 cents to a price of about 31 Kenyan shillings. Now, the summary for the trading, of course, on 22nd of June, that was yesterday. At the end of the day's trading on the Nairobi Securities Exchange, a total of 32,829,600 shares were traded in about 1,225 deals, corresponding to a market value of 789.9728 million Kenyan shillings, 700 million in just a single day. Compared with the previous trading day at the Nairobi Securities Exchange, data shows 44% improvement in volume, 47% improvement in turnover, and 10% decline in the number of deals. The current market capitalization of the Kenyan stock market is currently 1.84 trillion Kenyan shillings. And of course, in aggregate, 48 Nairobi Security Exchange listed companies participated in trading, ending with 20 gainers and 22 losers. And the East African Portland Cement Company Limited led the gainers at 10%, share price appreciation closing at 8.8 Kenyan shillings per share. It was followed by Home Africa, that is HA, at 10%, and then Commercial Bank of Kenya at 9.59%, then Olympia Capital Holdings. On the losing side, however, we had Nation Media Group. Remember, Nation Media also lost here in Uganda, but as well as back home on the Nairobi Securities Exchange, and came out last with an end-of-day price depreciation of 7.82% at a price of 16.5 Kenyan shillings per share. It was followed by Stanley Fahari Income, and of course that lost by about 6.65%. And of course down to KCB Group, looking at the companies that traded most volumes, Safaricom recorded the highest volume, and it traded about 30.6 million shares on the market. And it was followed by KCB Group that traded about 765,600 shares. Then Equity Group Holdings traded about 282,100 shares, and East African Breweries traded about 133,900 shares. Now, that's exactly how the market played out for the Nairobi Stock Exchange of the day. Remember, it hasn't been doing so well, given the fact that even the all share index has declined in performance. Let's look at the performance of this index. Now, the benchmark index that is the Nairobi Stock Exchange all share index, lost by about 1.79 points. And that is a 1.49% loss in points to now trading at, of course, to having 118.62 points, representing a 1 week loss of 5.97%, a 4 week loss of 7.57%, and an overall year-to-date loss of 28.74%. This is that performed were the Nairobi Stock Exchange, the 20 share index, of course, with a 1 week loss of 16.93%, and the Nairobi Stock Exchange 25 all share index with about 5.3% decline, and the FTSE NSE Kenya Index 15 index with about a 1 week loss of about 4.52%. Yeah, that's how the market performed. And like I said, there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding the Kenyan market, but it's a good opportunity for you to buy shares, for example, in some of these amongst these losers, like BK Group, like Diamond Trust Bank, and the like. So as you can wait for the price to kind of appreciate and make a little bit more money for yourself. We'll be looking at deeply into the rankings of the markets, and we'll see how the Nairobi Stock Exchange will rank. Now, going down to Johannesburg Stock Exchange, the biggest stock exchange in the continent, the Johannesburg Stock Exchange has, of course, a long history, dating way back in the 1887 when it was founded during the first South African gold rush. And today it is the largest stock market on the continent, and itself has become an engine room for South African economies, and with the primary function of facilitating the raising of capital and, of course, while enhancing job opportunities and wealth creation by providing an orderly market for dealing in securities. It has, of course, quite a number of indices like the J200, the J201, the J202, the J203, and the J205, and J204. But the main index, which is the benchmark index, is the J203, which of course represent 99% of the full market capitalization of all eligible equities listed on the main board, which can be split into J200 to J202 indices. Now, looking at the, this all-share index, it has seen a steady rise during the beginning of the year in February, as you can see, but due to some circumstances, it has been going down, and it hasn't yet hit its lowest like it did in September 2021. Around between September and October 2021, this exchange hit some of the lowest points. Yeah, but around right now, it's about 65K. And yesterday alone had an appreciation of about 740.02 points. That is a 1.13% appreciation in, of course, points. Now, looking at the companies that are listed, the gainers, we had about 56 gainers and 159 bottom losers. Wow, what a ratio! About 1 to 3 companies. That is gainers to losers. And the losers were, of course, one of them was Absa Group, and then another one was Absa Bank Preference Shares, and the Chelo Metal South Africa Limited. And of course, the gainer there is AdTech, ADVTech, and another one is Avenge Group, which is one of the companies that's really doing good on the exchange. And then Altron, which is Allied Electronic Corporation, was another gainer at 0.38 rands. And another gainer was Afrimat Limited at 0.24 cents, rands, sorry, rather. And so we'll rush down to what the market, summary was. Looking at these listed companies, we have over 425 on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. And amongst these, at the end of the day's trading, there was a total of 555,525 shares that were traded in about 200,000 deals that were done, corresponding to a market value of 18.6 million rands, South African rands. Of course, this is compared with the previous Johannesburg Stock Exchange trading day, that is on Tuesday, 21st of June, and the data shows a 2% decline in volume and a 2% decline in turnover. Africa. The gainers were led by Ellie's Holdings, led, of course, the gainers at 15%, and the losers were led by PPC, who came out last. At the end of the day, depreciation of 19.1%. That is the stock market there in South Africa. Not a good one as well as for what we expect. Now, let's look a little bit more down now to the Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency prices, because it seems more people are becoming more enthusiastic and want to know what's happening to crypto. Is crypto crashing? So looking at crypto, of course, we are seeing many green coins here, with Bitcoin going up by 1.64% to now selling at $20,481. And Ethereum went up by 1.41% and trades at $1,092 US dollars. The other coin is, of course, BNB, that is trading at 222.15, and that is a 4.49%. And XRP at 1.63% increase is selling at 0.32 US dollars. Now, Bitcoin dropped below 20,000 last Saturday, tumbling to as low as, of course, 17,678 US dollars. Traders were rattled due to fears of cryptocurrency insolvencies, and as crypto leader, of course, Celsius Network halted clients' withdrawals. So BlockFi, which has sought additional financing, and Crypto Hedge Fund 3 Arrows Capital confirmed the heavy losses that were incurred on the weekend. So the weekend prices also marked the first time where the largest cryptocurrency had fallen to the previous cycle's all-time high, notched in December 2017 as 19,783 US dollars. So capital market, cryptocurrency enthusiasts actually witnessed hefty losses. And of course, yesterday we held a conversation on crypto, and we saw how volatile this market is and how risky investing in cryptocurrency could be, as markets change almost each and every single day. But we will see what happens next. For the coin currently trading at 20,000 US dollars, about 20,000 US dollars. And of course, in Uganda, you have to remember that Bank of Uganda banned transactions from cryptocurrency through mobile money, right? It was actually banned with reasons given that the currency is unregulated and unsafe, and that it needs to be studied further. But of course, there are still people who are doing this and investing in cryptocurrency, but Bank of Uganda says they're doing it at their own risk. Well, that is the markets, how they played out, and we'll be giving you more on the latest information as the markets also keep changing almost throughout the entire day. We will be, of course, updating you on what's happening. But if you're out there and you would want to start to take part in trading on the stock market, Autex East Africa is giving you an opportunity to do just that by simply dialing *292# using your smartphone, using your mobile phone, without need of any internet access. You can access securities across East Africa. I'm talking about shares, I'm talking about treasury bonds and bills that have been issued in the East African countries of Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. And you can start buying on your own without an intermediate. But of course, you can take the longer route as well by going to the Uganda Securities Exchange, where definitely they will be giving you a stockbroker, and that stockbroker will be trading on your behalf on the stock market. That is information for you right there for beginners. Remember, we no longer want to keep that saving in the box. We want to use that saving to make us a little bit more money. To invest in some of these ventures, you must have patience. You must be a long-term investor. That is something you need to learn. These investments are quite volatile for short-term investors. If you want safer investments, you can go into the fixed income securities that are bonds and bills, which are a little bit more secure and because government cannot default, and of course, you could be safe there. But for you to invest in the equity market, you must be a long-term seasonal investor who is willing to wait and wait and wait until the markets play in your favor. We're going into a short break. When we return, we give you the top stories. What's happening to the Nairobi Stock Exchange? Why is it going down? And what is its ranking in Africa at the moment as we speak? We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We take a quick break.